Another weekend of USL League One action gets underway from the Queen City, and we bring you a critical six-pointer between sides in the thick of the playoff chase. It's Charlotte Independence hosting Spokane Velocity, and tonight's match is presented by Novant Health. We say hello and welcome from American Legion Memorial Stadium. I'm Sam Goldfarb, and when you get a look at the current picture in USL League One presented by Pepsi, it does tell the tale. Right now, Spokane Velocity has already clinched a playoff berth, but sliding onto the fringes of that top four in their quest for a home playoff match, and Charlotte tumbling from the top four just above the playoff line. They need 3 points to keep themselves in the chase here. Teams have met just once this year, and in the first meeting, the spoils were shared. Charlotte on the back foot for the majority of it, but they did strike first. Christian Cheney on 20 minutes, this clinical finish. He's one of the best strikers in the league, and he came to punish Spokane in the early stages of that first meeting on June 11th. And maybe it looked like it would be a smash and grab for Independence, but Spokane with other ideas, finally breaking down the Charlotte low block. Just after halftime, Luis Heel striking with a towering header, and the spoils shared in Spokane in mid-June. Both these teams struggling a bit of late, though. A Charlotte side with just 2 wins in its last 14, and in the last 5 matches, issues on both ends of the pitch. As you see on your screen, a Spokane side that has only won 1 of its last 6. An unfamiliar defensive wobble has been the primary reason for that. Well, in this fixture, the primary tale is 2 dynamic attacking midfielders, and our player to watch presented by Gatorade for Charlotte is John Baccaro. In the wake of in-season departures, Mike Jeffries mentioning that they play through him primarily, and the Golden Playmaker race at least is a picture of that. 8 assists to his name, second in the league in that figure. His opposite number is one of the best attacking midfielders in the league in Luis Heel, third in the league with in chances created. He's our player to watch presented by Gatorade for Spokane. So dynamic in the final third, best known for his time with Omaha, but captaining Velocity over the past 2 years, and he is the talisman going forward for the visitors. We are just about set for kickoff in the second and final meeting between Independence and Velocity. A massive tussle between sides looking to get back on track ahead of the final stretch of the campaign. Stick with us, lineups and kickoff when we return from Charlotte.
I want to stop being sidelined by pain. I want to tell him I'm in. I want a surgeon who speaks more knees than he can count. I want the best care in the game. I want a team that's with me every step of the way. I want to bounce back fast. I want to show them my best is yet to come.
For the best orthopedic care, you want Novant. Novant Health. Best surgeons, amazing nurses, remarkable care.
When it comes to delivering high-quality, affordable healthcare, relationships matter. And after 90 years, Blue Cross North Carolina is proud of the relationships we've built with you. We're 5,000 neighbors, friends, and family committed to improving the health and well-being of everyone across this state. We're here for you, all of you.
Hello there, my name is Seychelle, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is that punch of flavors that's unlike any other. You get the crispy tenderness of the chicken and that hint of sourness from the pickles. Ta-da!
Hey, I'm Juan, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is every single time you take a bite, you know you're gonna get chicken that's crispy, golden, and juicy. The Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich is the gold standard of chicken sandwiches. There's no touching it.
Tonight's Charlotte Independence match is presented by Novant Health. Novant Health is proud to be the official healthcare provider of the Charlotte Independence. With same and next day sick visits, Novant Health provides care when and where you need it. Schedule online at novanthealth.org. We welcome you back into American Legion Memorial Stadium, where we get a look at our starting lineups on this Friday night from the Queen City. Starting with Charlotte's 11, presented by Capelli Sport. They make 3 changes from last week's 1-0 defeat at 1 Knox. Biggest one in the heart of defense, Toby Adewole making his club debut for the Jacks in place of the injured Javin Romero, and of course Christian Cheney leading the line. The opposite end of things for Spokane, their lineup also is presented by Capelli Sport. They make 2 changes from what was a frustrating 1-0 defeat at home on Saturday against Greenville Triumph. Nico Brett is up front as Anwar Pelaez works his way back to full fitness. And then in defense, a switch to a 5-back with Siobhan John Brown and Derek Waldeck operating as the wingbacks. Just about ready to get things going from Charlotte, and it is a fixture that carries major stakes. Yes, Spokane has clinched a playoff berth, did so last week after AV Alta fell at FC Naples. But right now, their quest for a top 4 spot in a home playoff match in peril. They face a Charlotte side that suddenly finds itself competing for its playoff life, just 3 points above the playoff cut line. It is Spokane in the white kits with the light blue numbers and accents. They'll be going left to right on your screen. Charlotte, the classic navy blues with gold numbers going from right to left. We await our lead official's signal. Alexander Zilaskov is overseeing everything from Charlotte. We will get things going from the Queen City. It is a Charlotte side that has never suffered defeat against Spokane, and if it is to reinforce the health of its playoff hopes, they will need to maintain that unbeaten record against Velocity here. Underway from American Legion Memorial Stadium, Sam Goldfarb bringing you all of the action. Second and final meeting between these two squads of the season. It is a Charlotte squad that has won just 2 of its last 14 league matches. Mike Jeffrey saying it has been in our hands for quite a while, but now we must perform. Think about its most recent run of fixtures, the frustrating defeat at 1 Knox last week, in which they had a man sent off just after they were beginning to get a foothold in the match. It sets the stage for what many will feel requires some sort of result here. Look long for Christian Cheney, and it's claimed by Carlos Marancio, one of the top goalkeepers in all of USL League One. There is your look at Marancio, 3rd in the league in saves and clean sheets. Someone who Lee Wiedemann has turned to reliably this year for Velocity after he actually lost out to Brooks Thompson in the second half of last season as part of Spokane's Herculean push onto the USL League One final. He's improved considerably across the board this year, and the undisputed top choice now. Here's Waldeck. Colin Fernandez, former Peruvian Youth International. Sprays long. Swenson first to it. Lost in the shuffle of all of this, it's a Spokane side that opened the year in scintillating form, was top of the table and right in the thick of the Players' Shield race for most of this season, but just 1 win in the last 6, and back-to-back defeats entering tonight. We've seen them fall 4 points off the top of the table, and now with Portland Hearts of Pine nipping at their heels in the quest for a top 4 berth, results have become more imperative than perhaps many Velocity fans would have expected. As Cheney snatches this back, looks across for Moshe Bani. As far as how Reggie Novant Health is proud to be the official healthcare provider of Charlotte Independence. With same and next day sick visits, Novant Health provides care when and where you need it. Schedule online at novanthealth.org. Vaquero. Oshabani, former longtime USL Championship presence. May commits the transgression. Well, this is the fun time of year in USL League One. The final month well and truly underway. Charlotte with just 4 fixtures remaining, including this one. Spokane with a match in hand on a lot of its rivals for a top 4 place due to the fact that their Portland tussle in mid-August was postponed due to travel issues. So they play twice in the final week of the season. Can't afford to throw away results at this stage, especially given how excellent Portland has been. That's not to mention Union Omaha, which is not far off it either at this stage. Well, they've accomplished the primary goal. There are secondary aspirations to achieve as well. Here's Anawole, former Westchester SC man who made his move to Charlotte last month. It's a center back partnership that suddenly is not the deepest of positions. Nick Spielman is the veteran, but Anawole in there in the absence of Pele Usmanu, as well as the aforementioned Javin Romero, who exited early last week with injury. For Charlotte's side that defensively has undergone its fair share of issues. That is not what you want to see by any means. Like Jeffrey's mentioning that they've been countered on far too much over the last couple weeks. Waldeck. Looks for Luis Hill. Gets his first proper involvement. Now Vinyals. Back for Hill. Fernandez. Oprah. Siobhan John Brown. All the Oprah is just beyond him.
That ball played over the end line. Goal kick for the Jacks.
Fans, the USL on ESPN2. Watch Sunday, October 5th for a clash of championship teams fighting for the playoff line. Eastern Conference Rhode Island FC battles to stay above the playoff line. And Western Conference Las Vegas Lights FC look to climb above the line. October 5th at 5 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Early stages of this one between Charlotte Independence and Spokane Velocity, part of a loaded weekend in USL League One as the league heads into its final month of the regular season. It is a Spokane side that knows its fate come November. The question is whether they'll be playing at home or away from home in the first week of next month's playoffs. Meanwhile, Charlotte, a side that looked like they had the playoffs comfortably within reach in early and mid-summer, has seen itself tumble perilously close to the line. Just 3 points above that playoff cut line entering this weekend, and with the likes of Avialta and Greenville Triumph starting to nip at their heels, they can't afford to throw away too many of these home fixtures. Vaquero is the primary point of attack in the wake of Luis Alvarez and Alfredo Midense's mid-season departures. Like Jeffrey's saying that they've had to pivot towards a more methodical build-up style and away from their dynamic counter-attacking abilities due to the fact that in a more open game, doesn't necessarily feel they have the pace to track back on the wings as aggressively. Cheney, looking for Sorensen. there is your look at one of the league's top goal scorers, Christian Cheney. 11 goals to his name at this stage, third in the league in that figure, and one of the most dynamic goal scorers in the league's history. Second all-time now with 37 goals. For a while, his career looked to be in a bit of limbo after he was released by Forward Madison this offseason despite his prolific output. But Mike Jeffries has afforded him a new home, and he has made the most of it, continuing to bang in goals for fun. Every time you inch towards October and November, Christian Cheney threatens to make himself a presence, and that he has done. There's a slip, and Sis is onto it. Has Cheney with him. Measured wide. Jaime. Moshabani. Aregi. Moshabani again. He falls for Omar Sis, who's never shy about having a crack. Cheney can't thread it through. Dimmick. Sis. Lovely ball towards Beccaro. And his cross too tight on Marancio.
Beccaro tries to cross one from the end line. It's picked up by Marancio.
Well, there's another look at the chance. Our black tie bus charters instant replay. Ball a little overcooked from Omar Sis, and it forces Beccaro into a difficult situation. You can expect him to latch onto it plenty more times before the night is over. Tune in to CBS Sports Golazo Network on October 4th for the Jägermeister Cup final. From 38 clubs down to 2. Group 1 winner Sacramento Republic FC take on wildcard Hartford Athletic at 10 p.m. Eastern for their shot at Jägermeister Cup glory, all on Golazo October 4th. What a night that will be. A loaded slate of the USL Championship in League One and the Jägermeister Cup final. Waldeck, space to cross, and plays it behind everyone in white. Oddly enough, the Spokane side that has been so possession-oriented all year, counter-aggressor thus far. Beccaro. Time for our injury report presented by Novant Health. And you see Charlotte, bit of a crisis in defense. 3 of those players that are listed are center backs. And Pedro Fonseca has been grappling with injury since joining the club during the summer. Nothing officially reported for Spokane, but the important thing you should note is Jalen Chrysler is in the side in place of David Garcia. The most experienced center back went off just 16 minutes into that Greenville clash a week ago. Aregi, 20-year-old dynamo on the right flank. Sis. Out wide to Sorensen. Early cross in, Moshabani lays off. And the return ball is well beyond the reach of John Beccaro.
That ball played over the end line. It'll be a goal kick.
Vance Pepsi Cola is the official soft drink of the Charlotte Independents. Enjoy an ice-cold Pepsi while watching the Jacks. Pepsi, born in the Carolinas. For those just joining us on this Friday night, we welcome you into a pleasant evening in Charlotte. Independence and Spokane in a major top 8 battle. Charlotte right now trying to stabilize after tumbling all the way from the top 4 onto the edges of the top 8 right now. The 8th and final team in the playoffs if the season were to end today. Have to pick off a Spokane side that has been one of the most consistent entities all year, but in a bit of a rut of their own. Lee Wiedemann mentioning that the only real issue has been finishing chances. A side that did so effectively in the first 4 or 5 months. As Fernandez blasts this well over the bar.
Shot is over the
Chance creation has not
crossbar.
been the
It'll be a
issue
goal
for
kick
Spokane.
for your Jacks.
And there's a new man between the sticks for Charlotte. Mel Knight joined the club in early August and now making his third straight start. Mike Jeffries mentioning that he feels he has two elite goalkeepers. Matt Levy was the go-to for the majority of this season. He says it was not an easy decision to bring Knight into the fold in the late stages of the year. He's giving the former Jamaican international an extended run in the side. Someone who's known for a big save or two. That certainly was the story of his first half last week in the defeat against Knoxville. If not for him, Charlotte probably goes into halftime 2 or 3-0 down. What it took to beat him last Friday night was jaw-dropping. Jaheim Brown lashing one from about 23 yards right into the top corner. There was no chance for Knight on an effort with that much venom. Moshibani assists. Sorensen in support. Just loses that foot race with Chrysler. There is your look at Mike Jeffries, one of the longer tenured presences in all of USL League One. Season 7 across 2 stints, and best known for taking the Jacks to the final of USL League One 2 years ago. Has had them as a mainstay in the postseason, and this year he feels it should be no different, although it's gotten nervier than he would have hoped. Talking to him this week, he's mentioned having to dramatically alter the way they build in the absences of Luis Alvarez, who moved to Tampa Bay Rowdies in early June, and Alfredo Midense after he was recalled to Lexington. 2 players who fueled this attack for the better part of the first 2 months of the season. He alluded to it earlier, but more possession-based, more methodical in their build, more emphasis on maintaining structure. Feels they're still more than good enough to snap out of a rut that is now including just 2 wins in their last 14 in league play, but they've got to do it in a hurry. They've left it later than they would have hoped. Moshibani linking with Baquero. Now wide for Dimmick, who has Hauregi. An appetizing cross towards Cheney, and a brilliant stop from Morancio. Charlotte has been on the front foot from the jump, and that was the first major test for Carlos Morancio to pass. Brett, Heel, have yet to see Spokane truly calibrate in possession. It is almost the inverse of what we saw the last time these 2 teams met in June. Spokane dominating the run of play. Charlotte sitting in a low block, especially after taking the lead. And it really ended with a professional road performance in which Charlotte was able to escape with a point, but few would feel they had claim to more from that fixture. Cameron Miller and Jalen Chrysler will get quite familiar with one another over the final stretch of this season. There is hope that David Garcia will be back in a matter of matches, if not weeks. He was up in the air for tonight and just didn't quite crack the squad, so I don't think it will be too extended an absence, but anytime you lose one of the best attacking center backs on set pieces in the league, not to mention a true stalwart in the heart of defense, it is something to be concerned about, especially given Spokane side that has experienced more defensive issues than I'm sure they would have hoped recently. 8 goals allowed in the last 4 matches after conceding just 15 times in their first 21. Sis. Here's Cheney with options ahead. Just loses out. Vaquero. They had it knocked loose by Siobhan John Brown. Here's Dimmick, the captain for the Jags. Bashed forward towards Cheney, who's in a bit of a shoving match with his defender, and it's one he loses according to our referee. Long ball here. Cheney in a bit of a scrap with Cameron Miller. Tell you what, I think this is harsh that it goes against Cheney. If anything, it's probably warrants a whistle against Cameron Miller. And Cheney has come off worse for wear here.
Unexpected injuries. That's why Novant Health offers same-day appointments and walk-in care at select orthopedic clinics.
Cheney will get attention. Concerned about his nose.
To learn more.
I want to stop being sidelined by pain.
Well, it appears he's got a few battle scars from that coming together with Miller.
I want a surgeon who speaks more knees than he can count. I want the best care in the game. I want a team that's with me every step of the way. I want to bounce back fast. I want to show them my best is yet to come.
For the best orthopedic care, you want Novant.
This is definitely something to
Novant
monitor
Health.
from a Charlotte
Best surgeons,
perspective.
amazing nurses,
Top goal
remarkable
scorer, their
care.
primary threat is at least being tended to at the moment. Maybe a concern for Mike Jeffries to monitor over the course of these next 10-15 minutes or so. Does have some decent options on the bench. Swebu Maru is obviously known for being an elite-level super sub with 8 goals to his name, but I'm sure Cheney and everyone in Charlotte will want him to continue because he's one of the top threats going forward in the league's history. Seems content to keep things going, though. Well, fans, Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina is the official health insurance provider of the Charlotte Independents. Blue Cross NC makes health insurance easy. Discover employer, individual, family, Medicare, and Medicaid plans from Blue Cross NC. Better care starts here. Beyond the 20-minute threshold, and only one real chance of note for either side. An effort that was denied by Carlos Morancio about 5 minutes ago from Charlotte, but otherwise rather little to write home about in what has been a somewhat tense affair thus far. I think neither side goes into this understanding that realistically can't afford to suffer defeat. Spokane, of course, for their top 4 and home field hopes, and Charlotte because their playoff lives hang in the balance with each passing match. Lewis. Siobhan John Brown gives chase. He is just a couple of footsteps behind it.
That ball played over the end line. It will be a goal kick for the Jacks.
Cameron Miller was booked for the coming together with Cheney, despite the foul being given against the Charlotte forward. As you get your first look at Lee Viedman, his second year building this project off the ground with Spokane. very interesting discussion this week. The biggest thing he said was he builds his style around putting players in their genius. And what he means by that is they assemble their lineups based on, of course, the opposition and the spaces they allow. And then depending on the lineup, they structure their tactics and their build-up patterns around maximizing those players' talents. So, for example, tonight, in a lineup with Neil Vinyals as well as Luis Hill, says we need to put those players in positions where they have space to manipulate the game. That's undoubtedly been the primary approach thus far. I think the issue has been touches have been few and far between for both of those two creative masterminds. Sorensen, low cross in. Ricochets out to Sis. Floating towards goal, just knocked over the bar. Jauregui had the goal at his mercy.
Finds the foot of Rafael Jauregui, but his deflection is over the crossbar. Goal kick for Spokane Velocity.
What you see here, Sis maneuver to the byline. It's a low cross, and Jauregui had the goal gaping and just got underneath it. And those are the moments where you'll come back to it and think maybe that changes the trajectory of things. But on the subject of Lee Wiedemann, what a job he did in year one, building the club from the ground up, enduring some of the early season growing pains of any expansion club last year, and got them right at the right time. Guided them to the USL League One final in their first season as a club. Of course, they did fall to Union Omaha, but not before toppling the likes of Northern Colorado and Ford Madison away from home. It's a side that has always been built on its defensive solidity, and the attacking expansiveness has grown from there this season. We've seen some real moments of brilliance going forward, and despite ups and downs in the last month or so, prior to that, they were one of the juggernauts attacking-wise. Cheney is upended by Heel, and he may see his name taken here. Could be fortunate enough to get off the hook. Free kick in an inviting spot here. John Baccaro and Tumi Moshibani have a chance to negotiate their plans from this scenario. Both known for quality service from scenarios like these, especially the former in Baccaro. It's arced in by Baccaro. Nodded away rather comfortably by Miller. Maybe a chance to break the other way for Spokane. I don't know if Sorensen has anything to say about it, though. When you think about the way Spokane's season has evolved, at one point, the third longest unbeaten streak in league history. 12 unbeaten before a forfeit defeat at Westchester in mid-July, and that actually was a 3-2 victory that got waived because of the use of an ineligible player. Then 3 nights later, the heavy defeat at the hands of Chattanooga, and things have been slightly more up and down since. So get a look at that coming together between Moshibani and Siobhan John Brown. Once again, Baccaro and Moshibani get to plot from this scenario. Moshibani, this one more inviting. Cycled well by Baccaro, but right into the path of Andre Lewis. Fans, the Charlotte Independence is proud to share our home field with Carolina Ascent FC, the new Division I women's professional soccer team. For more information on this exciting new Super League and this team, visit carolinaascent.com. What a first year it was for Carolina Ascent. Player Shield winners in the Gainbridge Super League before falling on this very ground in the semifinals to their opposition in Fort Lauderdale. And what a project it has been. Carolina Ascent constantly drawing supporters, filling up this near 10,500 seat venue at times, especially early on in last year. They are the key attraction in women's soccer in the city of Charlotte. Always appealing to watch as a squad. Vinyals shifts it wide to Siobhan John Brown. Grenada International. Vinyals again. Well, for those just joining us, we inch towards the 30-minute threshold, and as things stand, Charlotte, the better of the action and the better of the chances. Rafael Jauregui moments ago missing a point-blank chance, but maybe something brewing as Brett pounds it over the crossbar.
Brett over the crossbar. It will be a goal kick for the Jacks.
But so far, touches sparing for Nico Brett and his counterparts going forward. Jaime. Dimmick. You see the methodical build-up, the way they've pulled Spokane out of position in certain places, but once again, a lack of final third cutting edge has prevented Charlotte from jumping in front. Heel. Can't quite round the corner. Fans, the Charlotte Independent storefront is live. Stock up for our next match on scarves, hats, shirts, and more. To shop our online storefront, visit charlotteindependence.myshopify.com. John Brown. Lewis. Errant touch from Vinyals. Only poked away by Sorensen. Chance to relieve pressure from Lewis now. You see Spokane elbowing into more of a four-back in their build-up. That was always to be expected. And it allows Lucky Oprah to operate in his more natural right-back role when they actually build. We've even been mentioning he asks significant amounts of his fullbacks, be it Oprah or Derek Waldeck. They need to bomb upfield. He counters as well and also provide width in the attack.
Please make your way to the Gatorade sign located to the left of the scoreboard.
Vinyals. This is Oprah ranging forward, as he often does. Stab clear. Cheney does decently in that circumstance. That fouls Sorensen. Well, there is your look at the man leading Spokane's line. Former Jamaican international Nico Brett, at 33 years of age. His primarily spent this season as Anwar Pelaez's backup, but with Pelaez missing time in the early stages of last month and only returning last week as a late match sub, Brett is the forward at full fitness and the one they tip to make a difference. A quartet of goals. It isn't quite as gaudy as Anwar Pelaez's numbers, but still a handful for opposing center backs to contend with. There is Wiedemann continuing to ponder on the touchline. He has so much elite level experience, a true success story of the developmental ranks in coaching in the USL. Spent time as the head coach of renowned League Two side Des Moines Menace, and then plenty of years as an assistant in the USL Championship. He's crossed paths with a number of the players he's brought in to play for Spokane, and has built a unit of experienced talents with high-level experience throughout the American soccer spectrum, be it MLS, USL Championship, or just established League One vets that are in year 6 or 7 now. He is one of the premier soccer minds in this league. Someone who is very methodical about the way he structures their build-up and breaks down football in a way that few coaches do. Caro is down and writhing in some pain. Cameron Miller, who's already on a yellow card, may receive a talking to, and that is a second yellow. So Cameron Miller sent off just beyond the half-hour mark, and Spokane will spend the remainder of this one down to 10. What a turn of events this is. Received the yellow card for a similar challenge on Christian Cheney. Now sends John Baccaro tumbling to the deck. This comes out of thin air. It's a physically contested header. And yeah, there is a bit of an elbow out. And I think that's what draws a referee's ire. You can argue that it's harsh to meet the threshold for a second yellow, but you'd be hard-pressed to deny that either offense individually warrants one. This will be a moment that Spokane fans come back and lament. Their regular starter is given his marching orders just beyond the half-hour mark. Cameron Miller, the 26-year-old, was in his second season at Spokane and became quite the center back presence alongside David Garcia. Sent for an early shower well before intermission. And if there was ever a golden opportunity for Charlotte to start and climb out of its skid, tonight would be the night. Spokane down to 10 as the other half of their starting center back pairing is now out of the fold and clearly frustrated. This presents a conundrum for Lee Wiedemann. His top choice center back in Garcia out tonight with injury. And in addition to that, Miller, Garcia's top partner, sent off. And Lee Wiedemann has also been booked for his troubles. For those just joining us, the match in which Charlotte had the upper hand on the pitch presents them an opportunity in which they also have an upper hand in terms of players on the pitch. A man advantage for the remainder of these 90 minutes after Cameron Miller sent off with a second yellow card for an aerial coming together with John Baccaro.
Second yellow card shown to number 12, Cameron Miller.
Just like that, Spokane will be forced to protect a semblance of a result. Down a man. If they had any hope of growing into this possession-wise, I think that's been dashed now. A side that ranks amongst the top of the league in average possession has been on the back foot. That disadvantage will surely be exacerbated at this stage. Not to mention a free kick in a solid spot for Tumi Moshibani and his counterpart. Arced in, it's dangerous, and Spielman heads it right at Marancio.
Lines ahead of Nick Spielman. His deflection is collected by Marancio.
Another look. Moshibani floats it perfectly into the path of Spielman. Can't put enough force behind it. Ultimately redirected it right at Marancio, who's probably had the most touches of any Spokane player at this point. Waldeck, the other direction. Cross beyond Brett. And it goes out for the first corner of the match for Spokane.
Ball defended over the end line. That'll be a corner kick for Spokane Velocity FC All corner kicks are brought to you by
All corner kicks
Chick-fil-A.
tonight brought to you by Chick-fil-A,
Remind you
and
to
it
eat
is
more
the first
chicken
for
and
either
make some
side.
noise as the Jacks
The closing
defend.
stages of this first half. Spokane looking to steal one on a set piece after just being sent down to 10. And Derek Waldeck is known for his deliveries from these scenarios. Within swing. And it's right at Amel Knight. Well, fans, all the soccer action you want and all the flexibility you need. Keep an eye out on all Charlotte Independence channels to be the first to hear about our 2025 flex plans. Visit charlotteindependence.com for more details. Approaching the 40-minute threshold here at American Legion Memorial Stadium. Sam Goldfarb bringing you all of the action in this six-pointer between Charlotte and Spokane. It's been a tight one, nip and tuck thus far, but moments ago, Spokane sent down to 10 after a second yellow card to Cameron Miller. As Christian Cheney is offside right in the heart of the area.
Offside flag is up. Back into the game is
Feels
John
like a
Vaquero,
moment
who
where
is now wearing number 75.
You'd fancy Charlotte to capitalize, just given the possession edge they had even prior to the second yellow. These are the moments where they must pounce before Spokane can get fully organized and adapted to having one less man. Otherwise, they've left a major chance or two on the table. Vaquero now donning 75 for the Jacks. They nearly reached Christopher Jaime. Instead goes out for another Chick-fil-A corner kick, the first for Charlotte.
Corner kick for the Jacks. All corner kicks brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Number 75, check that.
Well, oddly enough,
21,
Lee Wiedemann not making
Julie
any
Moshavane,
changes
standing over
after
the wall
Cameron
for the
Miller was
Jacks.
sent off. Not sacrificing any attacking players for a center back. We'll see if that comes back to bite him at the closing stages here. Moshavane to whip in Charlotte's first corner. Within swing, towards Jaime at the back post, and right into the back of Neil Vinyals. And that gives us a chance to let you know that Select is the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the Academy to the big league, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select, the player's choice. There is your look at the lovely Select match ball, which features in every USL match, be it Championship, League One, or League Two. Business end of this first half, and the question is, can either side provide that initial blow? Charlotte with the better of the opportunities, but they've come few and far between. He's played direct to Vaquero, who threads it through. It's a dangerous ball, and Cheney committing the foul at the end of the interchange.
Ball
So
played over
far
the end
has
line. It will be a goal kick for Spokane
Looks
Velocity.
frustrated up top. Few true touches for him, especially in the area. Seems to be a familiar struggle to what Charlotte experienced last week against Knoxville. The difference is they were on the back foot for much of the first half. Mike Jeffries
Correction,
calling them
it
second
is a
best.
foul and a free kick for the Velocity.
And in the second half, prior to the red card, he actually felt that they came out the better side, but the red card changing the match, and then as they had to chase things down a man, the biggest issue was not progression into the final third, but the final bit of incision required. And that part has at least seemed somewhat consistent tonight. The final third entries have been sporadic at best for the Jags. Sprayed forward towards Seal. Does latch onto it. Floated into the area. Doesn't reach Brett. As things stand, Spokane has yet to truly puncture this Independence back line. Dimmick. It's a Charlotte side that has seen its attacking output fluctuate over the course of this rockier run. Did back 3 against Richmond after going behind early. Blanked in 3 of the last 4 matches still. Have yet to truly pick apart this velocity back 4. Vaquero, this is Dimmick. Now Shabani. Dimmick again, with room to cross. Heavy touch from Haregi, causes the chance to go begging. Sorensen, clear foul at the end of that. You hear the fans disappointed in that decision. Anton Sorensen likely to receive a yellow for his reaction. And there it's been brandished.
Yellow card caution
For Charlotte men to be cautioned this far. And Anton Sorensen will have to monitor things. Referee has not been shy about producing yellow cards thus far. Just ask Cameron Miller about that. Fans, join us at American Legion Memorial Stadium on October 10th as the ride continues as your Independents face off against AV Alta FC. First kick is at 7 p.m. Eastern and gates open at 6 p.m. The home stretch for Charlotte. 3 consecutive matches at home before finishing their campaign away at Naples.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 4th official
All 4 of them will define their playoff fate. It is 5 minutes of stoppage time that separate us from full time, and it is presented by BCBS. Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina. This one back by Lewis. Heel. Cross in. Nearly reached Vinyals. Instead out for a corner. Something for them all night to contend with before we reach halftime. Yet another Chick-fil-A corner kick.
Ball defended over the
Second
end
for
line. It is a
Spokane
corner
this
kick
evening.
for the Spokane Velocity. Corner kicks are brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
Derek Waldeck once again getting more target practice and hoping his second delivery is better than the first was. Back post this time. It's headed along into the quarter of uncertainty. Cleared away by Cheney. Only as far as Fernandez though. Siobhan John Brown. Brett turns his defender. And Mal Knight off his line to collect. You have yet to see either side hit top form in the final third. Both sides' defensive organization on the opposite end has been rather commendable thus far. Moshabani. Sis. Jaime. And Sorensen in support. Haregi. Dimmick. Jacks continue to twist the screws. Walking ball towards Cheney. Siobhan John Brown first to it.
Foul in the box will result in a free kick for Spokane Velocity.
Fans, soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. Closing stages of this first half, and as things stand, no score between Charlotte Independents and Spokane Velocity. Sam Goldfarb taking you every step of the way thus far. Both of the 2 glaring chances went the way of Charlotte. The Jacks unable to capitalize on either. But since the sending off of Cameron Miller, the chance quality has actually deteriorated. Very little to write home about these last 10 minutes or so from either side in the final third. Testament to the organization that both coaches have instilled in their squads this week. This is a Charlotte side that has been to the USL League One final once, a club that is north of a decade old at this stage, best known for its time in USL and USL Championship. Since dropping down to League One, a fixture in the playoff hunt. Appearances in all 3 years in the postseason, hoping to make it 4. A result tonight would go a long way to eventually confirming their spot.
It will be a goal kick for Spokane Velocity.
Well, fans, if you can't watch the match, turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus, hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. Final minute of the added 5, and barring a late plot twist, we are set to enter halftime scoreless. Can Cheney change that? Haregi. Baquero. This likely Charlotte's final foray forward. And it may have just come to an inopportune halt. We've hit the added 5. It seems we're destined to enter halftime in a deadlocked affair. There is the halftime whistle, and no score between Charlotte and Spokane at intermission. Chances few and far between. A Mal Knight with almost nothing to do for Charlotte between the sticks. His counterpart, Carlos Marancio, the busier of the two goalkeepers. He denied a Charlotte player from close range within the first 10 minutes. And then the header from Rafa Haregi that sailed over the bar about 5 minutes later. Other than that, though, very few chances to write home about in the first half between these two sides. At halftime, our scoreline reads Charlotte 0, Spokane 0. One of these sides hoping to get back in the win column. And after the break, we will look at how they can do that. Stick with us on ESPN+.
I want to stop being sidelined by pain. I want to tell him I'm in. I want a surgeon who speaks more knees than he can count. I want the best care in the game. I want a team that's with me every step of the way. I want to bounce back fast. I want to show them my best is yet to come.
For the best orthopedic care, you want Novant. Novant Health. Best surgeons, amazing nurses, remarkable care.
Hello there. My name is Seychelle, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is that punch of flavors that's unlike any other. You get the crispy tenderness of the chicken and that hint of sourness from the pickles. Ta-da!
Hey, I'm Juan, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is every single time you take a bite, you know you're gonna get chicken that's crispy, golden, and juicy. The Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich is the gold standard of chicken sandwiches. There's no touching it.
Well, folks, it's only 8 a.m. and it's going to be another hot one. Today's high is 85 degrees with lows ranging in the upper 50s. Tomorrow's more of the same, plus some light wind coming in from the northeast. Coming up at 8:30, Paul's got an exclusive.
Babe, it's 8 a.m.
Coming up next as well.
Fried chicken, better with Pepsi.
When it comes to delivering high quality, affordable health care, relationships matter. And after 90 years, Blue Cross North Carolina is proud of the relationships we've built with you. We're 5,000 neighbors, friends, and family committed to improving the health and well-being of everyone across this state. We're here for you, all of you.
We welcome you back to the Queen City, where the skyline is gorgeous on this early October night. On our halftime show presented by Novant Health, the scoreline reads Charlotte 0, Spokane 0. It's time to get a look at our team of the week in USL League One, and here are the standout performers from this past week in the competition. Not many familiar faces. Of course, Spokane falling last week, and Charlotte also suffering defeat. But a couple of standout performers. Niall Reed-Steven, excellent for a resurgent Tormenta side. He is the player of the week. And then Julian Cisneros and Kevin O'Connor, both included for Naples, after scoring in what was a 4-0 rout of AB Ulta. Vincenzo Candela named coach of the week as Union Omaha continues its surge up the USL League One table. It's time to get a look at some of the other standout moments throughout the week, starting with our goal of the week, our save of the week, and our player of the month nominees.
Out front of the penalty arc, rope to the back door, Hearts end line, long ball finds the back of the net. 1-0, Hearts of Pine jump out in front at home over Texoma. Messer, a laser strike.
Play towards Cerritos, still loose, Deadstone! And somehow it seems it's kept out.
Play on, nice touch. Chance for Spokane, it's Nico Brett!
Robles hooking it over the top, falls for Mensa, and there is life for Greenville.
Prosper Kasim. Laid off to the top of the box!
Just played into the box, knotted down, but not out. The shot takes a deflection, it goes in, and Tormenta takes the lead.
Here comes the service. Dipping down! And the breakthrough is found! Rodriguez, oh, it goes in! It's a gigantic lift for Las Vegas!
On me. Tell them this like it.
Wait, come back! Wait, come back, I need more help.
Take a loan off and take a loan for free.
Today we went to the beach and it was totally worth it. Get double points this fall at Best Western.
Stop being sidelined by pain. I want to tell him I'm in. I want a surgeon who speaks more knees than he can count. I want the best care in the game. I want a team that's with me every step of the way. I want to bounce back fast. I want to show them my best is yet to come.
For the best orthopedic care, you want Novant. Novant Health. Best surgeons, amazing nurses, remarkable care.
We welcome you back to Charlotte. We give you a chance to tell you that tonight's Charlotte Independence match is presented by Novant Health. Novant Health is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the Charlotte Independence with same and next day sick visits. Novant Health provides care when and where you need it. Schedule online at novanthealth.org. No score at halftime between Charlotte and Spokane Velocity, and it gives us a chance to continue our look around the league at halftime, starting with news about Fort Wayne. They have retained their head coach Mike Avery for their 6th season as they transition to USL League One next year, part of a massive class of clubs joining the league in 2026. Meanwhile, Evan Lee continuing to extend his USL League One appearances record, hitting 200 career appearances for Greenville Triumph last week. And then finally, 3 teams, including Spokane, who you're seeing tonight, clinching a playoff berth in the race to the playoffs presented by Terminix. In terms of your upcoming schedules, we are in the home stretch of the season presented by Courtyard Marriott. Here is your look at the upcoming 3 matches to close out the campaign for Charlotte Independence. 2 home matches, and then they take on FC Naples away from home in a fixture that could determine its playoff life. On the opposite end of things, the remaining schedule for Spokane also presented by Courtyard by Marriott of Arrowwood. Here is your look at their upcoming fixtures. 4 games left. They have a match in hand on some of the teams above them in the top 4 chase due to the fact that that Portland match was rescheduled. But how about this? 3 matches away from home in the final week to close their campaign. This will really test their resolve as they inch towards the postseason. In terms of our scores throughout the league, right now, the Ibises of Tormenta leading Westchester, the only eliminated club as things stand in USL League One. So as you look at that, right now, Tormenta would be level on points with Omaha ahead of Omaha's fixture this week against FC Naples, and then a busy Saturday. 4 matches, including a huge one for Portland as they take on Madison. 2 teams on opposite ends of the playoff line looking to solidify their places in the postseason. In terms of how things look in our table right now in USL League One, the standings presented by Pepsi. This is the live table, so both teams would be in line to have a point from this fixture. Neither would really change positionally. It would increase the gap between Charlotte and the playoff line to 4 points, but remember, AV Alta plays tomorrow night, as does Greenville, so that cushion could easily be halved or worse, depending on results elsewhere throughout the league tomorrow. That is your look around the league. We will take a quick breather here from Charlotte, and when we return, a look back at the first half that transpired here at American Legion Memorial Stadium. Stick with us.
I want to stop being sidelined by pain. I want to tell him I'm in. I want a surgeon who speaks more knees than he can count. I want the best care in the game. I want a team that's with me every step of the way. I want to bounce back fast. I want to show them my best is yet to come.
For the best orthopedic care, you want Novant. Novant Health. Best surgeons, amazing nurses, remarkable care.
When it comes to delivering high quality, affordable health care, relationships matter. And after 90 years, Blue Cross North Carolina is proud of the relationships we've built with you. We're 5,000 neighbors, friends, and family committed to improving the health and well-being of everyone across this state. We're here for you, all of you.
Well, folks, it's only 8 a.m. and it's going to be another hot one. Today's high is 85 degrees with lows ranging in the upper 50s. Tomorrow's more of the same, plus some light wind coming in from the northeast. Coming up at 8:30, Paul's got an exclusive
Babe, it's 8 a.m.
Fried chicken, better with Pepsi.
We welcome you back to Charlotte, where at halftime, presented by Novant Health, there is no score between Charlotte Independence and Spokane Velocity. Some fans enjoying the nachos here as they take in the football. A busy night of football here in Charlotte. It's time to get a look back at the first half that just transpired here from American Legion Memorial Stadium. Not too many chances of note, but all of them went Charlotte's way. A fast start for the Jacks on our halftime highlights presented by Novant Health. You see this cross come in. It's an inviting one, and Christian Cheney forces a quality save out of Carlos Marancio. A great cross from Rafael Joregi. More from him in a minute, but Marancio sees it the whole way and turns away Cheney. And then this was the big chance for Charlotte. Midway through the first half, Omar Sis plays this ball in, and Joregi has the entire goal at his mercy, but gets underneath it and bashes it over the bar. Then in the 34th minute, controversy strikes. Cameron Miller, already on a yellow card, jumps over the back of John Vaquero. The elbow out, and our referee does not hesitate to pull out the second yellow card. Spokane doomed to 10 men for the remainder of the half and the remainder of this contest. And then right after that, on the ensuing free kick, Nick Spielman got his head to this, but it was right at Carlos Marancio. And on our halftime stats presented by Novant Health, it does tell the full story. Charlotte with a possessional edge. Yes, they're being outshot, but the only 2 shots on goal have gone the Jacks' way thus far. It is a Charlotte side that has been the aggressor, the protagonist thus far. The issue has been turning that possession into actual chances of note, aside from the 2 you saw earlier. Well, this is a major 45 minutes for both clubs. We've already mentioned the stakes at play. A Spokane side that is looking to make up ground and keep themselves in the quest for a potential player shield, as well as give themselves a comfortable cushion inside the top 4 as they look to host a home match in early November. Charlotte side that must get results over the course of its final 4 fixtures as it hopes to lock down a 4th consecutive playoff berth. One change at halftime, it appears. It looks like Masango Akale has entered, and we're hearing word that 2 more will also take effect. Akale entering for Spokane Velocity. We'll give you word on the other 2 alterations in a matter of moments. Two more changes, both for Spokane Velocity.
The second half is underway as the Jacks push for the playoffs.
Pierre Reedy is back after an injury absence, and Bryce Meredith also entering the fold as Vignals, Andre Lewis, and Luis Hill vacate. All 3 substitutions presented by Atlas Chiropractic. This is an interesting series of adjustments. They bring off their top 2 creative players in Heel and Vignals. Bring in a bevy of slightly less proven talents, although Pierre Reedy had enjoyed a strong season prior to his recent absence. Here's Sorensen. Floats towards the byline. It's not a bad cross. Falls to the edge of the area now, and Omar Sis did not hit that
Omar Sis's
enough.
attempt goes wide. It's a goal kick for Spokane Velocity.
So to recap, Meredith in for Lewis in a like-for-like change in midfield. Reedy replacing Heel. And then Masango Akale replacing Neil Vignals. So a triple change for Spokane as it looks to turn the tide here. For those just rejoining us, we welcome you back into American Legion Memorial Stadium. The race for the playoffs has officially heated up in USL League One. We are in the final month of the regular season, which comes to a close on Judgment Day on October 25th. And both of these teams still playing for considerable aspirations. Spokane has already clinched the playoffs, but still plenty of ground to cover if they hope to host. We've already mentioned Charlotte repeatedly throughout this broadcast. They must continue to accrue points if they hope to return to the playoffs once again. A side that is 2 years removed from a USL League One campaign that ended in the final on penalties against North Carolina FC. There's the cross in. It's not dealt with properly by Chrysler, and Dimmick just bashes it over the bar.
Clay Dimmick unloads
much better
right
from
foot.
the Jacks.
It's a little high. It'll be a goal kick for Spokane Velocity.
did see on your screen moments ago the big talking point of that first half, which did not feature many chances for either side, was Cameron Miller sending off. Came on 34 minutes, second yellow card after jumping into the back of John Baccaro. The elbow extended is what drew our referee, Alexander Zilovskos' ire. Spokane will be playing uphill if it hopes to secure all 3 points, especially now that Vinyals and Heel are off the pitch. Well, fans, Novant Health is proud to be the official healthcare provider of the Charlotte Independents. With same and next day sick visits, Novant Health provides care when and where you need it. Schedule online at novanthealth.org. Free kick for Spokane here. It's dealt with rather comfortably by Toby Adewole in the Charlotte back line. Have to give Mike Jeffries' side credit, despite playing on a rather depleted center back pairing with Spielman in the side, but then being forced to insert Adewole due to injuries to Usmanu and Romero. They've fared quite well, ceding few chances of note for velocity thus far. It's a Spokane side that has never toppled Charlotte. Charlotte 2-0-1, dating back to the start of Spokane's inaugural season last year. Of course, the final meeting came in the late stages of summer against Spokane, so never truly had to play them when Spokane was in their strong run of form that helped them capture a playoff berth and surge into the final last year. What a job Lee Viedman did in the final month of last season to put all of the puzzle pieces together. Still in the consideration for title favorites, although I think that their claim to that has maybe slipped over the last few weeks. Here's Baccaro. Crosses to the back post, just beyond the head of Cheney. And Sorensen's effort rather tame.
Anthony
Charlotte
Sorensen
starting to twist the
It was
screws
deflected
in
over the
possession.
end line. Is going to be a corner kick
And another
for the
Chick-fil-A
Jacks.
corner kick awaits.
All corner kicks are brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
Has the feeling of a match that a set piece will
Number
make the
9, John
difference.
Baccaro headed over to take the corner kick. Come on, Jacks fans, let's make some noise.
Baccaro has seen his influence limited, as has everyone on the pitch in a match that has been rather cagey. But he is the standout for Charlotte. Looking to change the trajectory of things here. It's taken short. Moshabani, now Spielman, back for Baccaro, who lost his footing. Adewole heads on. Cheney cuts it across again, and Marancio makes a quality stop, denies Moshabani.
Christian Cheney's cross to the head of number 21, Chumi Moshabani. Was saved by
This
Carlos
much better from
Marancio.
Charlotte. You see them knock it about, space this Spokane back
Check out the
line.
replay
It's a
brought to
great
you by
cross from
Black
Christian
Tie
Cheney, and
Transportation.
Moshabani a free header, but just can't put enough on it to take it beyond Marancio. They have won it back though. Cheney looking to carve out some space. Baccaro knocked out of play. Goes out for yet
That
another
cross was
Chick-fil-A corner
deflected over
kick.
the end line, so it'll be another corner kick. Jacks. All corner kicks
This
brought
their
to you
best
by
spell of the
Chick-fil-A.
match.
Who
Mike
reminds
Jeffries
you to eat
mentioning
more
how
chicken.
in the opening 5 minutes of the second half, before the red card to Bashir and Jai, last week was probably their best spell. And you're beginning to see them grab this by the scruff of the neck again.
Chumi Moshabani over the ball for the Jacks.
Moshabani once again over it. It's a critical inflection point in Charlotte's season. Baccaro back for Moshabani with plenty of room. And it nearly reaches Adewole at the back post.
One in the far side, but it goes over the end line for a goal
That
kick.
was so
Spokane
well executed.
velocity.
A training ground routine that was well crafted. But Adewole a couple of footsteps behind it. When you think about the proud history of Charlotte Independence, a club that was founded in September of 2014. Quite the attraction for fans in the Charlotte area for quite some time, playing in USL Pro and then USL Championship up through the 2021 campaign, but struggled to make waves in the championship. Since moving to League One, they have been a fixture in the playoffs. We mentioned the run to the final. Last year, for long spells of time, we're in line to host a playoff match. Ultimately tumbled to the 6th seed and were outclassed by Madison in the quarterfinals, but it was a strong season nonetheless. They've unfortunately encountered a similar second half skid, but put that all in the back burner and maybe even improve their seeding in the process. If they can get a result tonight and keep up their form through the closing 3 matches. It does help that 2 of them are against sides at home. Don't have to return to the road until that Naples match on Judgment Day. Aregi, Jaime, cross cut out at the source. Runs out of play. Out for yet another Chick-fil-A corner kick.
Ball was ruled to be over the end line. That goes out for a corner kick. Jags.
We see Christopher
Corner
Jaime,
kicks once again brought to you by
LAFC 2
Chick-fil-A.
product, who joined the club this winter.
21, Tumi Moshibane.
Starting to
We'll do
find
the
a
honors
layer of
yet
comfort
again.
going forward for Charlotte. Tumi Moshibane getting more target practice, or perhaps a chance for Charlotte to break out another corner kick training ground routine. But Carroll, Moshibane. Carroll again. Laid off to the edge of the area for Sorensen, and it's right at Marancio.
Sorensen unleashes a left foot. It is collected by Marancio.
Fans, the Charlotte Independence is proud to share our home field with Carolina Ascent FC, the new Division I women's professional soccer team. For more information on this exciting new Super League and this team, visit carolinaascent.com. But Carroll, Charlotte monopolizing the possession since the restart. Sis with room to hit. And got underneath it, always rising. It is one-way traffic now in favor of Charlotte in the second half. You see Omar Sis, a former All-League honoree, beginning to get more and more involved. It is hard to believe he's still just 24 years old, despite already being in year 4 with the Jags. He was an All-USL second-teamer in 2023 after being named as a Young Player of the Year finalist the previous year. I think his proudest moment in a Charlotte kit would be that Dogwood Derby screamer against North Carolina FC before they made the leap to the championship in 2022. See Adewole overzealous in his quest to win this. He's actually the man who gets fouled, so maybe no harm for him. Moshibane. Right into the gloves of Marancio. He's a focal point going forward. Mike Jeffries mentioned how, despite the departures of Luis Alvarez and, of course, the recall of Alfredo Medense, they've brought in quality players. John Baquero has seen his role grow considerably. Tumi Moshibane joining on July 9th after years in the USL Championship with the likes of San Diego Loyal. Also brought in Pedro Fonseca, but have yet to see him truly feature for an extended spell due to injury issues. Still a squad with tremendous forward-thinking talent, and it's just a question of now whether they can piece it together despite the new sum of parts. Shabani with nearly 30 USL Championship goals to his name, 26 to be precise. And as a reminder, Spokane down to 10, and they have been for quite some time now. Charlotte continuing to poke holes in their back line. Cross towards Cheney. Runs all the way through to Dimmick. Dove in late here, Akale. Your first look at the proper involvement from Masango Akale, who joined last June after impressing the NPSL. Both these clubs have served as a beacon of opportunity for lads in the lower leagues in the U.S. Charlotte on the bench tonight with a former longtime UPSL presence in Jabril Faye. Vaquero. Dimmick. So many numbers parked behind the ball for Lee Wiedman's squad. It's the inverse of what we saw the last time these two sides met in June. Fans, have you ever wanted to kick around on a professional soccer field or walk in the pitch hand in hand with a pro player? Here's your chance. Our group outings will give everyone an unforgettable night with a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Visit charlotteindependence.com/groups for more details. You see one of the group outings out in full force here at American Legion Memorial Stadium. Definitely enjoying the action. Now hoping that their hometown side can take advantage of their man advantage over Spokane. Have to break down a low block to do it though. Spokane unsurprisingly resolute despite the drama that has already taken place. Vaquero. Moshabani. He's tugged by Akale. Does well to win a free kick. Since the restart, you've seen Spokane with very few touches in the attacking half. It's a credit to what Charlotte's been able to do in possession. Provide width, stretch this Spokane back line, force them to throw numbers behind the ball. And of course, the advantage there has been further pronounced by the sending off. It would be facetious to say that that sending off has changed the match because Charlotte was on the front foot prior to it. Shabani and Vaquero once again stand over the free kick. This time it comes off Vaquero's boots. Put away before it can reach Spielman. John Brown. Takes this down wonderfully. And finally, Spokane able to play out. Waldeck. Akale. Back for the run of Waldeck. It's read by Adewole. Shabani. For those just joining us, we welcome you into Uptown Charlotte, right on the precipice of it. 1-0 scoreline between Charlotte Independence and Spokane Velocity. Charlotte missing a couple of key chances in the first half and then one in the second, but they have yet to find the breakthrough. Jaime. Charlotte readying two changes as they hope to unlock this back line. Sis. Sprays wide to Cheney. Darts it towards the near post. And well out of reach of Marancio. That double change will take place now. Suebu Maru and Juan David Moreno getting set to enter. Christopher Jaime.
Substitutions are brought to you by Atlas Chiropractic.
As well as Rafael
It is the
Haregi.
Independents making the
Those
adjustment
substitutions
with
presented by
number 8,
Atlas
Juan David
Chiropractic and
Moreno, coming in
Wellness.
for number 80, Christopher Jaime.
So Haregi,
Also, number
his
26,
big moment,
Swaybu
missing
Maru,
the
coming in for number
chance in
15,
front of goal.
Rafael
He's replaced by
Haregi.
Moreno. And then Swaybu Maru getting his chance in place of Christopher Jaime. Both attack-minded alterations as Mike Jeffries chases this. If you know anything about USL League One this year, you know Swaybu Maru has a penchant for scoring big goals off the bench. And he has a penchant for doing it in bunches. A Cameroonian international who is best known for becoming the first ever USL League One player to score a hat trick as a second half substitute. Did it against Westchester in early May to kickstart a come from behind triumph in Westchester County on May 10th. 3 goals to turn a scoreline that was 2-0 in favor of the Golden Apple into a 3-2 Charlotte victory, with his winner coming in the final 10 minutes. I think he'll be generally pleased with how they've controlled the match. I think he'll feel that the cutting edge in the final third has been lacking, but this second half, they've been in full control of things. Now the only question is, can they find the breakthrough against a Spokane back line that has thrown numbers behind the ball understandably? Lee Wiedemann doing what so many teams have done to Spokane this year, and it's park numbers behind the ball and sit deep and dare opposition to break them down. Oprah. Quick turn from Pierre Reedy, the Penn State product. Waldeck. Fernandez. This is Bryce Meredith, the substitute, making just his 11th league appearance of the season. Akale is by far the most prolonged spell of possession we've seen from Spokane this half. It's switched wide, taken down quite nicely by Pierre Reedy, who darts in on his left, and it's right at him all night. One of the few saves he's had to make tonight.
Velocity shot by number 11, Pierre Reedy. Saved by him all night.
For those that are wondering how Charlotte can change things, we've already mentioned Swaybu Maru, 24 years of age. Has played in some of the highest levels of global football, played in South Africa in the top flight over there with Orlando Pirates. The 2022 Cameroonian Ballon d'Or as well. There's a cross in. Falls nicely. Chance isn't lost just yet. Eventually Moshabani taken off it. Brett. A rare touch for him thus far. Now Akale. Charlotte side that has been so prolific going forward this year, despite some of the struggles you've seen recently. 3rd in the league in goals scored. And Achilles' heel has been its back line, inverse to what we saw last year when at times the attack was not producing at a prolific enough clip. Flag stays down for Reedy here. Pounds it forward. David Moreno picks it out of the sky. And he turns on the afterburners. Keep your eye on number 8 in blue and gold. David Moreno. He's one of the more exciting presences on the wing, as this stoppage gives us a chance to let you know that eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. A switch of the play towards Moshabani. Doesn't quite come off for Charlotte. slow to return to his feet after that coming together on the far side.
Pepsi is the proud exclusive non-alcoholic
Take another
beverage
look.
of the Charlotte Independents.
John Brown
Stay on the pulse and grab
took
an
it out of the
ice-cold
sky
Pepsi while
and
you
then
enjoy
just
tonight's
muscled
match.
Moshabani off
Because
it.
it's
And
Pepsi.
it appears at the end
That's
of
what we
that,
like.
he took a shot to the face. Of all of the performers on the pitch tonight, to me, Moshabani has a case for man of the match. A lot of the positive actions have either flowed through his boots or John Piccaro's.
Degrees with lows ranging in the upper 50s. Tomorrow's more of the same. Plus some light wind coming in from the east.
Babe, it's
He'll be
8
forced to
a.m.
briefly wait along the touchline as gets the all clear to check back in. So Charlotte briefly down to 10.
Fried chicken, better with Pepsi.
We've already spoken about how difficult the upcoming fixture slate is for Charlotte especially. It doesn't get much easier for Spokane though, in a position where they're playing 4 of their final 5 fixtures, including this one away from home, and the 3 away in the final week. Going to Naples, Portland, and Omaha. 3 very difficult spots to win. There's something brewing for Spokane! It's just gone wide.
Wide of the mark. It'll be a goal kick for the
Pierre
Jacks.
Reedy latched onto it, and it was a heart and throat moment for a second for Charlotte. You see Reedy, he beats out of Wole for pace. Just sees it knocked wide. What a chance that could have been for Velocity to take the lead against the grain at that. Sis. That's a heavy touch. Reedy yet again. You see Spokane still down to 10. It's prevented them from kickstarting a number of would-be promising attacks. They've had real issues possessing it. Forced off it at every turn. Omar Sis. Dimmick. Moreno. Former Millenarios man. Working ball. Charged away by Chrysler. Only as far as Dimmick, though. Once again, Charlotte continues to hunt for vulnerabilities in the Spokane back line as we enter the final 20. Sorensen. Baccaro drives it from afar, and he did not miss by much. And it took a touch on the way off the gloves of Marancio at that. This is the kind of initiative Charlotte needs. Baccaro just puts his laces through it, and it's the slightest of touches off of Marancio's gloves. A palm for security, and it amounts to a Chick-fil-A corner kick for Charlotte. This one taken short. Baccaro let it run, but nobody there in blue to greet it. Akale. Is there room for Spokane to play out? Just overcooked for Brett. Now you're beginning to see chances materialize. Pierre Reedy on one end, and Baccaro on the other. As tired legs set in, this may open up more. Moshabani. Receives it back from Baccaro. Now room to shoot! Right at Marancio, though.
Shot by 21, Tumi Moshabane. Saved by Marancio.
It's your experience on your schedule. Stay tuned in on Charlotte Independence channels to be the first to hear about our 2025 mini plans. Charlotte Independence is committed to keeping soccer accessible and affordable. Visit charlotteindependence.com for more details. Lee Vidman has seen enough. He is going to his top scorer off the bench to make an impact. Anwar Pelaez, as he continues to return from a 3-match absence, making his second consecutive second-half substitute appearance in place of Nico Brett. A like-for-like swap as the clinical Colombian looks to make a difference for Spokane. The substitution presented by Atlas Chiropractic. Pelaya's got off to such a fast start to this season. It still ranks in the top 10 with 8 goals in USL League One. Has seen his output deteriorate considerably since May 18th, although he did have 2 goals taken from him in that Westchester match, excuse me. A pair of penalties that would have been enough to secure the 3 points had the result stood, but the stats wiped as a result. So in reality, it is 10 league goals, although only 8 officially count for the Golden Boot race. Talking to Lee Viedman throughout this year, he's mentioned how sensational Pelaya's is in the box in particular. Just has goal scorer's instincts. 32 years old with USL Championship experience under his belt. He is someone who knows how to scrap in the area. Here's Sis. A lovely ball wide to Moreno, who has Dimmick in support. This came into the quarter of uncertainty. Didn't reach Marancio though. And Kale does well to keep this in. Sis fouls him in the process. Sees his name taken as a result.
Yellow card caution shown to number 6, Omar Sis of the Jacks.
Some frustration setting in as you look at the black tie bus charters instant replay. See Masango Akale skip past Omar Sis. This does look like a harsh yellow card, but our referee hasn't exactly flashed the highest barometer for a yellow tonight. I think Spokane would not complain about that being brandished after the yellows they've seen fly their way in the first half. Masango Akale starting to make a difference. We inch towards the final 15 minutes, and still, neither side has found that elusive breakthrough. Charlotte looks the more likely, but Spokane, as this wears on, popping up in moments. This is Clay Dimmick. Now Baquero, who's seemingly been deployed in a slightly deeper lying role in the wake of Maru's substitution on. May have even shifted to 2 forwards now. It's not often you see Mike Jeffries play with Swabu Maru and Christian Cheney together. This is one of those rare instances though. Referee plays advantage. And now he'll come back to that earlier foul. And yet another yellow card is out.
Yellow card caution shown to number 21, Tumi
Moshibane, the latest Charlotte man to be booked. He's enjoyed a strong display. This is one of the few instances in which maybe things haven't come off for him. And even if this night ends without a goal involvement, his performance will feel good enough to merit one, especially on set pieces. He's the architect of a lot of their training ground routines. You see him just come in late on this challenge against Bryce Meredith, and that's enough to draw a referee's ire. So he'll have to watch himself for the closing stages here. Shabane, one of those in-season additions who has yet to open his League One scoring account. There's a lot of conversation throughout the league about championship players when they come down to League One, adapting to the way the game is played. League One, a little more transition-oriented. In addition to that, you still have to be in good form to produce goals. Well, fans, this stoppage gives us a chance to let you know that you can join us at American Legion Memorial Stadium on October 10th as the ride continues as your Independents face off against the AV Alta FC. First kick is at 7 p.m. Eastern and gates open at 6 p.m. That, Charlotte's penultimate home match. 3 consecutive home matches, including this one, for what we've already mentioned could be the deciding match in their playoff hopes against FC Naples down in Florida. Hear word that Fabrice Nga is getting set to replace Tumi Moshibane. This may well be one of his final involvements as he latches onto it. Sis. Moshibane left it dangling. Now Fernandez plays it out well to Akale. And a sliding challenge from Adewole breaks it up. Bakero, former Wake Forest man, a former Mac Herman Trophy winner. Moshibane commits the foul. That may be his final act.
We have another substitution brought
That
to
it
you
is.
by Atlas Chiropractic.
Tumi Moshibane replaced by Fabrice Nga.
Is the Independence.
Fullback
Coming
for
in
a
number
winger,
2, Fabrice
but
Nga.
Nga has provided
Number
plenty of
21,
attacking
Tumi
firepower this year.
Moshibane.
A quintet of league goals to his name. And he replaces Moshibane in the closing stages of this one. Well, fans, the USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN+. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. Final 10 minutes here from American Legion Memorial Stadium. And as things stand, still nothing to separate these two squads. Charlotte, the aggressor, but unable to turn that into a goal just yet. Moreno lets it run. And it goes out of play before Dimmick can collect. And Bakero getting patched up again. He was bleeding after the challenge that led to Cameron Miller's red card. Moreno, low cross. Cut out before it can reach Cheney. I think if you talk to both managers after the fact, if this result holds, Mike Jeffries will be the far more disappointed of the two. Given all of the circumstances and the way his team has played, I think Lee Wiedemann will be proud of the way his side has maintained their defensive solidity. Moreno, only as far as Nga. Charlotte continues to monopolize that man advantage. See Adewole here, right into the back of Anwar Pelaez. On a different night, maybe that slides, but the referee has been very consistent in his decisions. It does not take much to warrant a foul, and it certainly doesn't take much to warrant a yellow card, but he has been stable in the way he has issued those yellows. Well, fans, Gatorade is the official sports drink provider of the Charlotte Independents. After a long day on the field or at the gym, make sure you replenish your electrolytes with Gatorade's many flavored sport drinks. Here's Reedy for Spokane. He's provided a bright cameo since entering the fray 20 minutes ago. Trapped along the corner flag yet again. Sis starting to pull the strings as a deep-lying midfielder. Adewole. Bakero. Dimmick. Squirted wide. Numbers on the far side. It's not a bad cross in. Cut out by Chrysler, though. And there's Fabrice Nga's first proper involvement going forward. He's seen his role grow with each season for Charlotte. Nga again. This towards Maru, and it's saved. Still loose, and Cheney denied at the source. A point-blank header denied by Morancio, who's been up for every test thus far. Nga does win a free kick, though. What a chance this was. Brilliant cross from Fabrice Nga. Swaybu Maru, an unattended header, and it's just right at Morancio, who makes the reflex stop. Charlotte getting closer and closer, but unable to provide that final blow just yet. Fabrice Nga getting them closer than they've ever been. Sorensen and Baquero near the free kick. What can they conjure from this distance? Baquero hooks it towards the back post. Wole clatters into the back of Waldeck. At the end of the 90 minutes, you just wonder if that Swaybu Maru chance was the moment. Got free at the near post, and once again, had a pretty open goal. And his flashing header right at Morancio. He's been Spokane's best player tonight. There's no doubt about that. 2 major saves on either side of halftime. One very early on, one in the final embers of things. Cheney can't pick out Maru that time. Spokane struggling to build out. Akale. One back by Moreno. Maru on the turn. Sorensen. Dimmick's cross. No one there in blue to greet it. Another yellow card brandished by our official.
Yellow card, caution.
Count is starting to rack
Show
up.
number 4, Nick Spielman.
Nick Spielman is the latest Charlotte player in the book. And when you look at the lineup at the moment, 3 different Charlotte players actively on the pitch with yellow cards. Spielman, Sorensen, and Omar Says. Seems to be inch closer to full time. That's something to watch. Well, fans, Aquafina is the official water and hydration partner of the Charlotte Independents. When a game heats up, cool down with Aquafina. Things are heating up here. Final 5 minutes. Charlotte continuing to knock on the door, but they have not been able to find the breakthrough just yet. Nga has runners in support as well. Marauds through midfield. He does lose out here, though. John Brown looking through to Pelaez. He does win the foot race against Adewole. They back off to Reedy. It's for reinforcements now. Meredith. John Brown. Meredith again. Slides it through to Siobhan. John Brown lays it off to Reedy, and he provides the opener. What a team goal by Spokane, and against the grain they lead. A 3rd goal of the season for Pierre Reedy, who strikes at the optimal moment for Spokane Velocity.
By number 11, Pierre Reedy.
Lovely goal this. Threaded through by Meredith. One-touch football finds the feet of Pierre Reedy, who dispatches in the bottom left.
Fans, let's look at our upcoming schedule.
John Brown loses his footing, but does just enough to put it in Reedy's path. And this is a clinical finish if I've ever seen one. With ferocity beyond them all night.
With Chattanooga Red Wolves SC. for Novant Health's breast cancer
Spokane,
awareness night.
a side that had not
First
produced
kick
a
is at
shot
7
on
p.m.
goal
Gates
prior
open
to
at
that
6 p.m.
moment,
Back to Jack's
has
all season
provided the
long with
opener.
single game tickets on
The
sale now
27-year-old
at
Pierre Riddy,
CharlotteIndependence.com.
back in the 11 and making another impactful moment for Velocity. His first goal since scoring in the 57th minute against Madison. That goal presented by Botero Carts. And as things stand, Spokane in line to claim a shot victory, down a man and out of possession for the bulk of the 90. But with one magical chance making all the difference. Charlotte forced to play catch up now. Moreno. Ngab. Sprayed wide to Sorensen, and a heavy touch allows John Brown to recover. Pierre Riddy, the native of Kutztown, Pennsylvania, who has bounced around MLS Next Pro and USL Championship before signing this year. His cross comes in, Waldeck knocks clear. Riddy in line to be the hero.
Now making the Atlas Chiropractic
Last season
substitution,
grappling
number 16,
with injury.
Coming in for number 13, Anthony Sorensen.
Missing the final 6 months of the year. He's the difference maker. And Sorensen is now out for the club legend Tresor Mbuyu, who 2 years ago was Charlotte Independence's top scorer. Rejoined the club this summer and has been a fixture off the bench. It is Mbuyu for Sorensen. Charlotte throws caution to the wind now.
It's a goal kick for Spokane Velocity.
Final minute of the 90. As things stand, Spokane in line to claim a massive 3 points against the Grain and a first ever victory against the Jacks. Spokane will be in no rush to take this from here on out. What a result this would be. And if this holds, Spokane would surge back into the top three.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official has indicated a minimum of 4 minutes
Stoppage time is presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina, and it is 4 minutes. Charlotte must go all out to salvage anything from this. A fixture that Mike Jeffries will feel his side should win, given the circumstances. They may be staring at another crushing defeat. Moreno headed away. And Gaz cross. It's dangerous. Falls for Moreno. Back off to Baquero. Cheney gets his head to it. It falls for Mbuyu. Cleared only as far as Sis. Drew got a touch, but right at Marancio.
Into the box, finds the foot
Fans,
of
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina is the official health insurance provider of the Charlotte Independence. Blue Cross North Carolina makes health insurance easy. Discover employer, individual, family, Medicare, and Medicaid plans from Blue Cross NC. Better care starts here. Charlotte's playoff hopes may take a damaging blow here if this holds. A match in which they've been on the front foot. They've had the better of the chances and have been a man up for nearly an hour. But Pierre Riddy's moment of magic sees them staring defeat in the face. Says. Final 2 minutes. We are midway through the added fourth. Moreno. Nodded away again. Referee blows play dead once again for Toby Adewole's challenge. You see the frustration emanating throughout the Charlotte side.
Yellow card caution.
Another yellow card.
Of the Jacks, Toby
3 of the
Adewole.
4 starting defenders have been cautioned for Charlotte tonight. It's consistent with the other yellows that were issued. Referee's not been shy about producing the yellows tonight. And at this point, Spokane will be content to let every single second they can possibly drain tick off. The name of the list of names in the book is getting quite hefty. I wouldn't be surprised if our lead official's on page 2 at this point. And the Charlotte yellow card count has ticked up with each passing moment here in the second half. You have to feel for him and wonder what's going through his mind. His squad, the lion's share of the ball, the lion's share of the chances, but unable to provide that final blow. Denied twice on the doorstep. Swaybu Maru turned away, as was Christian Cheney in the first half. And after Maru was denied, Pierre Reedy making all the difference on 87 minutes. There is still time to change the narrative, though. Moreno can't switch the play. Now Dimmick, we are beyond the 4 minutes of added time. Baquero, one final desperation ball in. Heads go up, it falls kindly, appeals for penalty. The follow-up effort right at the goalkeeper, and the penalty not given. A yellow card shown to Cheney. We'll have to get another look at this because the Charlotte players seem convinced it was a handball.
Number 99, Christian Cheney.
Take another look. It's not dealt with properly by Spokane. Sis gets ahead to it. It's laid off, and oh, this is close. Derek Waldeck slides down. His arm is up. It's a question of where it contacts. It's another decision that has not gone Charlotte's way, to the chagrin of everyone on Mike Jeffrey's touchline. At this point, Charlotte seems destined for a damaging defeat. More yellow cards brandished. That has been the story of this second half. Looking back at full time, the question will be, should Charlotte have had a penalty?
Yellow card caution shown to the
bench
Charlotte
shown,
bench.
the yellow card shown to the Charlotte bench. Well beyond the added 4 minutes. And you wonder if there is still time. There is the full-time whistle. Spokane against the grain procures a huge victory away from home. Down a man for the better part of an hour, but Pierre Reedy providing the late winner as Lee Wiedman's side secures a hard-fought 3 points away from home. On a night where Mike Jeffrey's men were on top, the better side for the bulk of the 90 minutes, but unable to find that breakthrough and paying the price late. Our scoreline at full time finishes 1-0 in favor of Spokane. Our man of the match presented by Aquafina is John Baquero, who was the more dynamic presence for Charlotte going forward. Our play of the match as well, presented by Novant Health, is this moment for Charlotte. The cross comes in from Fabrice Nga. Swaybu Maru denied on the doorstep by Carlos Marancio. It's a lovely cross from Nga, who had just entered as a substitute, and Maru nearly providing the magical moment. And then our save of the match It comes in the late stages of the second half. You see Pierre Reedy cut in onto his left. It's an effort that's headed right at Amal Knight. The save of the match presented by Social Pet. That was the only major stop Amal Knight had to make all evening. Of course, the other potential save he could have made was bashed in by Pierre Reedy. That man is the difference maker as Spokane against the grain claims a 1-0 victory in Charlotte. We'll step aside briefly. When we return, a look back at the 90 minutes that just transpired. It was a fun one in Charlotte. Velocity claiming all 3 points away from home. Stick with us.
I want to stop being sidelined by pain. I want to tell him I'm in. I want a surgeon who speaks more knees than he can count. I want the best care in the game. I want a team that's with me every step of the way. I want to bounce back fast. I want to show them my best is yet to come.
For the best orthopedic care, you want Novant. Novant Health. Best surgeons, amazing nurses, remarkable care.
Hello there. My name is Seychelle, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is that punch of flavors that's unlike any other. You get the crispy tenderness of the chicken and that hint of sourness from the pickles. Ta-da!
Hey, I'm Juan, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is every single time you take a bite, you know you're gonna get chicken that's crispy, golden, and juicy. The Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich is the gold standard of chicken sandwiches. There's no touching it.
Well, folks, it's only 8 a.m. and it's going to be another hot one. Today's high is 85 degrees with lows ranging in the upper 50s. Tomorrow's more of the same, plus some light wind coming in from the northeast. Coming up at 8:30, Paul's got an exclusive.
Babe,
heartwarming
it's
story.
8 a.m.
Fried chicken, better with Pepsi.
We are back here in Charlotte, where it is a frustrating night for Independence. They fall 1-0 despite being a man up for the better part of an hour. Mike Jeffrey's men dropping points and suffering a key blow in their quest for a fourth consecutive playoff berth, while Lee Wiedemann's men reinforce their claim to a top 4 spot and a potential home field match in the postseason. It's time to get a look back at the 90 minutes that just transpired with our full-time highlights. What an eventful 90 minutes it was. Not a lot of goals, but many chances for Charlotte, and it picked up early. This cross coming in, and it was an appetizing ball for Cheney. That's the first of many quality saves Carlos Marancio had to make to keep Spokane level. Then the match changed on 34 minutes. You see this 50-50 ball. Cameron Miller extends the arm, though, and he's sent off with a second yellow card, as you see our full-time highlights presented by Novant Health. That was the moment where it looked like maybe things would unravel for Spokane. And in the second half, Charlotte was nothing short of dominant, creating chance after chance. This header from Mo Shabani denied by Marancio. He made a number of quality saves after that. On 71 minutes, more chances brewing for Charlotte. You see Baquero here lash it from afar. It is a slight touch from Marancio, which touches it over the bar and once again keeps Spokane in it. And then this, the biggest chance. Fabrice Nga, fresh off of entering the fray, plays a delicious ball into the area for his fellow substitute in Swaybu Maru, and Marancio again to turn him away. And then on 87 minutes, the difference maker against the grain, 10-man Spokane Velocity with one of their few forays forward, converting this one-touch ball from Siobhan John Brown right into the path of Pierre Reedy, who finishes first time and bashes it into the bottom left. No chance for Knight. And then on 94 minutes, the handball shout. This is the major moment of controversy in the match, and I tell you what, the hand is up from Derek Waldeck. On a different night, maybe that is given. You look at how that influences our standings presented by Pepsi. Spokane surges back into the top 3, and more importantly now, 6 points separate them from 5th position. So in a clear spot to potentially secure home field advantage in the quarterfinals. Meanwhile, for Charlotte, they drop points, and now they are at the mercy of results elsewhere as they look to keep themselves in the top 8 come the end of the weekend. There is the full-time stats, and I tell you what, they are pretty glaring. Presented by Novant Health, every advantage favoring Charlotte except for the scoreline, and that is the one thing that matters 2 shots on goal for Spokane. The second was the difference maker. Pierre Reedy providing the final blow in the 87th minute as Charlotte, despite more than tripling Spokane shots and more than doubling them up possession-wise, falls in 1-0 fashion. The biggest stat of note, XG, 2.86 to 0.49 in favor of Charlotte, but they still fall 1-0 against 10-man Spokane. What a picture that paints. What a match this was in Charlotte, and what a brutal defeat it was for the Jacks. They suffer a devastating blow in their quest for another playoff berth, where Spokane, against the grain, claims a 1-0 victory. For our terrific crew from the Queen City, I'm Sam Goldfarb saying so long, where Spokane wins 1-0. Have a great rest of your night, everyone.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.